My name is Nevaeh Hilderbrand, and this is my narrative speech about grief. When people think about loss or grief, they think about sadness and all the things that go into it. But when my grandma left behind is strength, unconditional love, and unforgettable memories that you hold on to forever. From summer to mid-fall 2024, I spent a lot of my time in David City, which is where I once called home. I visited her when she was sick, and that is when I felt closest to her. Grief is hard, but it can shape you into a strong, mature person. And the person you grow into from it is what's most important. My grandma had weekly appointments at her house, so I got to spend a lot of time with her. Even some checkups I would go to after volleyball practices or weights, and that's when I also enjoyed making memories with her. She spent that night at her house a lot in the summer, and that's when we were able to play cards and go to dinners, and that's what I felt closest to her and happiest with her because I got to build lasting long memories with her that were soon to be over. We had constant visits to and from David City, and like I said before, that was what's home to me, where she grew up down the street, so I got to see her a lot, whether she was walking around or coming to babysit us, which at the time I didn't enjoy at first, but now I understand how much that was important back then. She had a lot of appointments, and then things started to get worse, right when we thought she had hope that she was getting better. We found out the cancer was too far along, and then we started to see things not improve, and that's when it affected me the most. But we all had a miracle that she'd get better. Then it came around time where we were homecoming dress shopping, and I dedicated the color of my dress to her favorite color because I knew that it would be special to her because that's something I talked to her about before she passed away. We also go to Texas Roadhouse with her sometimes after appointments, and we'd all laugh about the rolls and how many we could eat because she wasn't someone who would eat a lot of food, but she'd always try to eat a lot because she thought it was funny because we would make jokes about it. And lastly, I loved playing cards with her because she teaches new games like Michigan Rummy, and we all laughed and talked, and I always forgot how to play the games, and she always was good at teaching and being patient with me. I was always reminding myself that it could be the last time and to always cherish and enjoy every moment with her. Then came mid to end summer, which was her birthday, June 1st, and she came over for that because she had an appointment that morning. I remember me and my sister went to Hy-Vee and bought her a ton of flowers, and it was something she sent us a picture of that night and told us how much she loved them because she loved flowers. Then later that day in July, later in the summer, we had a wedding for our cousin Brenna, and my grandma was really sick that day, so none of us thought she was going to come, but then she ended up coming. And I remember she was in the room most of the time because she wasn't feeling good, but she came down when we wanted to dance with her, and she left shortly after that. And that's still a picture and memory I have forever. We knew our time was limited with her, and that night I especially realized that. And then we got to our last moments with her, which was super hard for me. Then it was time for my last club volleyball game that she got to watch me play, and my last Gretna game right before we had district volleyball and then state. Unfortunately, she couldn't come to districts or state because she passed away the week before that, but I knew she was with me, and it was hard not seeing her in the stands, but she would watch every volleyball game online or in person, so that was a hard impact on my life. And then when we saw her finally for the last time, it was super hard on me, but I was grateful I got to talk to her in person one last time and tell her everything so I didn't live with regrets. It was hard no longer seeing her in the stands and no longer getting game day texts from her. Then came along her funeral, and that was a hard day for me, but we were able to walk down with offertory, me and my sister, and make it memorable for her. And that's something she wanted us to do, and it was super special for us. Then that's when I finally understood everything happens for a reason, and she always told me and my sister that she'd always be with us no matter what happened, and we always had our other grandparents who loved us, and that they would take good care of us. She always held a special place in my heart, and her loss impacted me and my sister a ton, and it helped shape who I am today. She allowed me to go stronger in my faith and put all my trust in God, even when it was hard to at the time and at first. And then I finally understood everything happens for a reason, and there's a plan for everything. And being able to be loved by her is something I cherish forever. With us growing up down the street, we were super close, and I was super close with all of my family, so that what made it even harder when she passed away, and my volleyball games like I mentioned earlier. I learned to never take anything for granted. When she passed away, I saw signs she was with me, and one of them was butterflies, and we would randomly see butterflies because when she was sick and had appointments, every single time me and my sister would drive to see her, a butterfly, a yellow one, would always land on my car. And then when she passed away, we would go to the lake in the summer, and me, Callie, and my sister would always see butterflies everywhere, and it reminded me of her. Another thing that reminds me of her is my other grandma always does things that reminds me of her, and it makes me know that she's always with me.